So today I managed to go through not one, not two, but 3 different hair ties. 3! And I don't even have thick hair, and somehow I managed to break them. With the first one, I felt kind of like the Hulk. I felt like superpower, like Argh! And then the third one, and I thought it was some sort of weird, sick, late April Fool's joke. Apparently, a curly ponytail was not in the cards for me today, hence why I am now wearing a headband. Hello everyone! I'm here today to share with you guys another one of my Instagram makeup products, sort of tested. These are hyped products that are all over the gram that people have been really enjoying, and I wanted to test them out today to see if they actually work. Because those Instagram videos and photos, like, whoa, they have beautiful makeup. And how they manage to cram everything into like a 1-minute video is beyond me, when I can barely make it through an entire makeup session in like a 20-minute video. And if you do like this video, give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on new videos every Tuesday and Thursday. And right now I'm also doing a video every Friday, testing out new products, a first impression Friday type of video. I will put a link down below and in the cards for you guys at some point in this video so you guys can check out the other video I did testing out hyped Instagram makeup. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into this. Alright, so now we are zoomed in, and you can see I have a little bit of tape on the outside of my eyes because when I apply eyeshadow, I tend to be really messy. So I'm going to start by priming my eyes, and I'm just going to be using the Urban Decay priming potion. This is in Sin. There just seems to be a wide variety of ones that are used on Instagram, and it tends to be the ones that I use anyway, so we're gonna go with that. But also grab a mirror so I know what I'm doing. So for eyeshadow today, we're going to be using a new palette. This is the Zoeva Blanc Infusion palette. I don't know what that means, but it sounds intriguing. I think there are 3 total within this sort of line. They were sent as press samples in sort of like chocolate bar form, which was kind of cool. But it says here there are no parabens, no mineral oils, superior pigmentation, easy to blend, and with vitamin E, made in Italy. And then for brushes to apply said products, I'm actually going to be using Morphe brushes. I've never used Morphe before, so this is my first kind of experience with them, other than washing them, but that doesn't really count. So it looks like all of the top shades are shimmer, the bottom shades are matte. They have a nice range of matte shades as well, which I'm really excited about. They have lighter all the way to darker, which is going to be great when I'm kind of blending out the crease a little bit. So let's swatch one of these bad boys. I'm going to start with Late Bloomer, which is a pretty copper shade. Do you see that? Okay, well that's going on my eyeballs then. We're off to a great start, people. Try this goldy one. Okay, not as good, but still really good. A little too yellow for me, but whoa, that copper shade though. Okay, last one, the highlight shade. Please be good, please be good, please be good. It's a lot more gold than I was anticipating. I thought it was gonna be more on the white end of things, but okay. They're very smooth, they're very easy to swatch, creamy, they're not super dusty, they're not too soft that they're crumbling. Yeah, just overall really, really pretty so far. I'm gonna start with this color right here. It's called Travel Inspired. I'm gonna use a big fluffy brush, and I'm basically gonna dust this color all over my entire lid area, focusing more on the crease, but sort of to set the primer and also kind of create a base for the crease color I wanna do. Then I'm gonna take the Question of Taste color right here, and I'm going to concentrate that more on the crease area, kind of deepening it, kind of building color as we go. So far so good. I mean, I've only used 2 fairly light crease colors, but they blend out really nicely. They aren't really dusty when I'm picking them up with my brush, and the color payoff is pretty good considering, I mean, what color I'm using on my eyes. I don't know what's wrong with my camera, but it keeps turning itself off. So I don't know what has actually been filmed and what has not been filmed. So I'm going in right now with Conched, this color right here, and I am just applying that to the crease and just deepening the color. I'm using right now the Morphe R39 brush. Now I'm just gonna take this shade right here. This is called Last Bite, and I'm going to apply it to the outer lash line and a little bit into the crease as well, just to darken out the outer edges a little bit. This one is not as pigmented as I was expecting it to be. So I feel like this palette's really nice for more beginners because you can blend and add more and kind of work your way up to the consistency and the pigmentation that you want. Versus like something more like the Modern Renaissance palette, which I found you really had to be careful with how much product you were putting on your brush. I'm just gonna take the big fluffy brush that is cleaned off of all of the shadow, and I'm just going to blend out the colors a little bit. Now I'm going to take this beautiful copper shade. This is in Late Bloomer, and I'm going to be applying that to the lid, concentrating more on the inner portion of the lid, not to kind of mess up with a little smokiness I've got going on. It wasn't as metallic as I was kind of hoping, as I was kind of patting it in, but it did layer fairly well. I did apply some Fix Plus to the brush and then tried it again, and that made a difference and made it much more shiny. And then I decided to go in with some liner. So I wanted to use the ColourPop liner. So I went in with the shade Stomper, which is a really, really dark brown. And as I was applying that to the lash line, you'll see that I noticed that it was basically the same shade as the shadow that I had already applied. So I just applied it to the tight line. We'll see how well it holds there throughout the day. And I took some of the Kylie Cosmetics black liner and used a really, really thin angled brush and applied it just to basically the outer third to 2/3 of my lash line on the top. Then I used the small M326 brush to sort of smoke it out a little bit and blend it so it wasn't such a harsh line. So now I'm gonna go in with my brows. This is a new product that I have seen all over Instagram, and technically I should have used this first, which is why I'm doing this now and not my foundation. And it is the Wonder Brow One-Step Brow Gel that is apparently supposed to help create perfect brows that last for days. It contains a blend of hair-like fibers that, combined with a special treatment of pigments, are designed to fasten onto the skin and hair. That sounds both intriguing and also terrifying. Hopefully this is the right shade. I got brunette because it was brunette or black. So I decided brunette was probably gonna be the closest. So this is what it looks like. It looks a little bit like a lip gloss, but all right. It also comes with instructions and a little spoolie brush, so that's good. So Wonder Brow should be applied to clean, dry eyebrows. I guess I should clean my brows a bit. There's no product in here. All right, done. All right, step 2. Okay, so apply the Wonder Brow in short feathery strokes, applying in the direction of hair growth, and then brush it out while the product is still wet, and then just keep going back and forth. Okay, all right, I got it. Oh, it's kind of like like a brush. Well, that's weird. How am I supposed to apply this? All right, let's try and like wipe off most of the product. This stuff is scary. It's doing a good job in terms of like filling it in, I think. But like, how am I supposed to get it like to be all precise and stuff? I don't understand. All right, so that's just sort of like putting the brow product like into the brow. You can see it does make some bit of a difference there. I can see that. Oh, did I get it some on like right under my brow? Awesome, hopefully that comes off. So I'm just gonna fill this brow in, I think, and then I'm going to use like an angled eyebrow brush to kind of clean up the edges and make it look a little bit more precise. You know, Instagram-like. All right, so this is what my brows look like after several attempts and iterations. Hopefully this works. So the pros of this product, it wasn't as paint-like as I was anticipating it to be. Because it is a brush, when you're applying it, it does tend to go on almost like little brow hairs. And as long as you use only a little bit at a time, that does work. However, in getting those perfect, precise brows, if you are one that is novice or beginner at doing your brows and it takes some practice and iteration and having to take it off and put it back on, this is not the product for you because there is very little room for error. Because this is something that is supposed to stay intact fairly well, you wanna be pretty good at getting your brows to where you need them to be. So if you are really good at it, it just comes second nature to you, you've got this whole thing down, no problem at all. This is actually a really good product and I'm curious to see how it lasts. So once I take off my makeup and everything, I will just sort of come back on camera and I'll show you what my brows look like. So we'll see what happens there. So wasn't the easiest product to work with, but I'm curious because if it saves me time by only having to do this once in like a span of 2 days, then I'm on board. Now I'm going to go on to primer and I'm going to be trying out the Farsali Unicorn Tears Skin Enhancing Antioxidant Serum. And a lot of Instagrammers use this either in combination with their foundation or underneath their foundation. It is supposed to be an innovative oil-free solution that acts as a dual-purpose serum and also preps for makeup applications. So it has all sorts of like superfruits, antioxidants, anti-aging, blah, 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 blah. Supposed to be really good for your skin. I think they actually sell it at Sephora now, which is pretty awesome. So a little bit easier to get than online where it was sold out for like a year. Ooh, it's pink. Nice. I don't know why I thought this was purple. It always looks purple on Instagram. Okay, wait, we gotta do it the proper way though, because is it really like an Instagram tested if I don't apply it like the Instagrammers? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and then I have to do the sad face. Leaves my skin feeling not super oily, hydrated, and a little bit sticky, but not overly, which is good because you want it to feel a little bit tacky, I feel like, to get like the foundation to stick properly. Oh, I like that. I'm gonna put a little under my eyes too. I've seen them do that, so I'm gonna try it. And for foundation today, I'm gonna be testing out the LA Girl Pro Coverage HD Long Wearing Illuminating Foundation. This stuff is a very, very popular foundation, and I think they sell it at Ulta, but I had to order mine online. For Canadian girls out there, I don't recommend that because they charge you an arm and a leg for duties. And I don't know, maybe it'll be really good. Maybe it'll be worth it. Maybe Ulta should come to Canada, I'm just saying. Actually, I think I got a comment in last week's video that Ulta is planning on coming to Canada this year, maybe next year. Pretty excited. If you work at Ulta, hit me up, I wanna know. Inquiring minds need to know for the sake of myself and also my wallet. I got fair, natural, and nude beige, according to some of the swatches that I had seen online, and we'll hope this is a good fit. All right, so let's start with fair, see what that looks like. That is fair on my hand, which is actually a pretty good match. And not at all fair. That's as light as you go, that's gonna be my color then. Although I will say they do have a foundation lightener, which I also got because again, I wasn't sure. So this could come in handy if you are not sure, and if the coverage is really good and it's not your shade, you could probably just lighten it up with something like this. And I am going to be using the Morphe M439, and it's a dome buffing brush, so we're gonna use that to apply it to the skin. We'll see how much this oxidizes. Hopefully not a lot. It says this is a medium to full coverage foundation, and everyone seems to be obsessed with it, so here's hoping it's great. I didn't think this through with my brows. I had to figure out a way to like get the product in and around my brow area without disturbing them. Seriously, I can't believe this shade is called fair. Like seriously? In terms of coverage, it is definitely a medium coverage foundation. I can still see my skin through the product. It does have a illuminating quality to it, which is really nice. You can see it right there. It's oxidized on my hand a bit, and that is my shade with a self-tanner on. So I'm gonna put on another layer, and I'm gonna add a little bit of the whitening to it as well, just to see if that counteracts some of the oxidization that's happened. So that is the shade with a little bit of the whitening liquid in it, so that does help a lot. So let's put that on. That's a little bit better in terms of color. It matches my neck a little bit better. In terms of coverage, it still feels fairly medium coverage. I do like the way that it's sitting on the skin right now. It's not emphasizing any larger pores. It is settling nicely on the skin. It's evening everything out. It does have that nice illumination, which is also good. So we'll see how it lasts throughout the day. So far, I like it. I'm not super impressed with the color selection, though I do appreciate the inclusion of the whitening liquid. For concealer today, if you watched last week's videos, I believe, or yeah, last week's videos, I talked about finally getting the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. Now this isn't just Instagram that's obsessed with this, YouTube is also obsessed with this product, and I'm so excited to finally try it. I have been really good. I have not opened the product at all, and I've had this for like several weeks now. I am pretty stoked right now, to say the least. Hopefully this is gonna be the right color. I don't even know what colors I ordered. I got fair and fair neutral. So that is fair, and this is fair neutral. So we're gonna go with fair neutral. Whoa, that is the largest concealer wand I have ever seen. Look at this compared to my Wet n Wild one. It's like the mommy and the baby. That is hilarious. It's so big, ridiculous. The Shape Tape Concealer is supposed to be like basically industrial strength concealer. It is supposed to be super high coverage, it blends out beautifully, has tons of moisturizing properties in it to really hydrate, especially under the eyes, and just blur out all of the imperfections, acne spots, dark circles, anything. You name it, it's gonna cover it. I think I chose the wrong color. Oh no. Okay, I will fix the color, but I do want to see, before I start mixing in products, I want to see what this actually looks like, sans addition of other products. So I'm using one of the Morphe sponges, and I'm gonna use that to blend this out. This stuff is insane. I don't say that very often about a concealer, and it looks a little bit like I can't even take myself serious looking at myself right now, but like this stuff is crazy amounts of full coverage. I need to fix this so bad. Like my under eye area doesn't have any like anything. It just looks completely blurred out and flawless. Like I need to zoom you all in so you can see what I'm talking about. Let's just look at this for a second. Like look at the under eye area. It's like I never had any dark circles to begin with. It is not settling into any fine lines or anything. It blurs out beautifully. Like, I can't even believe that. That's craziness. What I think I'm gonna do is I'm going to blend all of this out. I'm going to add a little bit more of the whitening plus foundation. I'm gonna do a third layer of it to just sort of lighten this and make it all blend together a little bit easier. And yeah, then we will continue. But wow, super impressed with the Shape Tape, guys. There is a reason people are obsessed with this. So that even it out, I feel like that looks a little bit more natural, right? So now on to the setting powder, and I finally got my hands on something that everyone has been talking about, and it is the RCMA Original No Color Powder. And this is supposed to be the best setting powder ever. People are raving about this product. It contains no pigment, no perfume, no fillers. It won't alter your foundation shade or natural skin tone, and will set your makeup with a flawless finish that won't cause any flashback. So it comes in this nice little like oregano bottle, which is always fun, because where am I supposed to pour this? Guess I'm pouring it into my hand. It is a white powder, in case anyone can see. Whoa, it's gonna go everywhere. And I am going to actually put it under my eyes with this sponge, which I really like, actually. This has been working quite well. I like it. I think it's called like a stiletto sponge or something, because it's got a little pointy end, which I'm constantly scared of poking myself in the eye with, but it does really reach in there to get those little like corner pieces and blend them all out super smoothly. I'm getting powder everywhere. This is the worst ever container. RCMA, please fix this. I would tell you what it looks like, but I have no idea. I'm using the viewfinder, which I can't see at all because I have to hold powder in my hand. Dust away all this excess here. Woo, that is flawless. Oh my goodness. We'll see if it creases or anything during the day or whatever, but wow. All right, so now I'm gonna go in and finish up my eye look. So I'm going to start with the question of taste, and I'm gonna take this tiny, tiny little brush from Morphe, and I'm just going to smudge that under the lower lash line and connect it up to sort of the smoked out wing effect that I had created at the top. And then I started in with the shade Noble, and I applied that to the inner corner, but you'll see that I changed this a little bit moving forward, but that's what I started out with. And then I went in with mascara, so I curled my lashes and I applied the YSL The Shock Mascara. And this time around, I've really enjoyed this mascara, but today, for whatever reason, it was really clumping up badly. There was so much product on the brush. I don't know what happened, what was going on with this, but it took me forever to get my lashes to work today. So yeah, that was fun. To add a little pop under the brows, I used the Zoeva Brow Light Pencil, and this is their waterproof highlighting pencil. This was a little bit on the cool tone, but I decided to work with it anyway, and as I was applying it, it was like in my brows because it's a much thicker pencil, and I feel like this will also be really beautiful in the inner corners of the eye. I love the color. I love that it's super pigmented. It blended out very easily though, so I'm definitely going to be playing around with this a little bit more. And then I went in with a new bronzer. This is by Makeup Revolution, and in case you guys missed it, I did a first impression Friday testing out a whole bunch of Makeup Revolution products, and knowing from experience from testing out some other products, I was very, very light handed when applying this bronzer, because I felt like if I just kind of jammed my brush in there, it would go all over the place and I'd end up with a really streaky contour line. But then I just applied it all over, along the jawline, around the hairline, all that kind of stuff. Overall, I liked that it was matte. I liked that I could blend it out quite easily. I found that it worked really well with this particular brush. And then I went in with a new blush, and this is by the brand Surratt or Surratt Beauty. And this is in the shade La Vie en Rose. But the annoying thing is that it slides out both ways. So I feel like this is just gonna end up all over my floor if I'm not careful. The color is good. I do like these more mauve-y tones. It didn't really go with my eye look, so you'll notice I'm gonna change a couple of things with my eye look. And then I'm going in with a highlight, and this is again Makeup Revolution. This is their Vivid Baked Highlighter. I was gonna go in with the Strobe Balm, and then I forgot that it was a balm, and I'm not going to apply a balm on top of the powder where I set my face. So I instead decided to go with the Baked Highlighter, and this is in Peach Light. It's not really peach at all. It's very pink. It's very shimmery, very glowy, but didn't really go with the whole copper thing that I had going on in my face. And then lastly, I went in with a Huda Beauty Liquid Matte Lipstick, and this is in the shade Muse, which is a dark purpley cool tone pink, I wanna say. Just a Very nice color that I would absolutely wear more often. Really pretty. It glides onto your lips beautifully and it's super pigmented. Beautiful, beautiful shade. However, I do find it's a little sticky on your lips. Even after letting it dry for a while, it still feels a little bit tacky on the lips. So that's a bit unfortunate. I will be using it again, but I wish it wasn't so sticky. I'm gonna try and see if I use a thinner layer, it's gonna make a difference maybe. And then since my lipstick, my blush, and my highlight are all cool toned and my eye look is very warm toned, I wanted to sort of cool down the eye look a bit. And so I just took some of the highlight, applied it over top of the inner corner highlight that I had going and a little bit over top of the gold shade just to sort of tone it down a bit and make it a little bit more workable with the rest of my look. And this is the final result of the overall look, testing out all these different hyped Instagram makeup products. So now I kind of want to sit back and talk with you guys about some of my favorite products and my least favorite products of all of the different ones that I tried. So I'm gonna start with some of my favorite products that I tested out today. One is the Farsali Unicorn Essence. I really liked how it felt on the face. It gave a little bit of something for the foundation to stick to, but it wasn't overly sticky and felt weird on the skin. It felt nice and hydrating, but it wasn't overly oily. It was just that nice combination, that perfect balance, and I feel like I will be reaching for this again, whether it's mixing it in with some other foundations that I'm using or using it as a primer by itself. I really liked it, so I'm excited to continue to play around with this a little bit more. Another product that I really liked and absolutely lived up to the hype, in my personal opinion, is the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. Oh my gosh, it's ridiculous. The color is a good color, not so much for my foundation, but for my actual skin tone, it's a really good color. I love the applicator, the fact that it is much larger than any other concealer applicator that I have. It's phenomenal, really pigmented, but very light on the skin. It is not creasing in any way. It blends out beautifully, and when it blends out, it's not, even with a sponge, it wasn't taking away any of the product. It was just sinking into my skin really nicely. I really am excited about this product. I'm going to continue to use it, and I will probably purchase more colors so that, you know, it'll work also when I have a lot of self-tanner on my face. As you saw today, it didn't so much, but we made it work. And then I also really enjoyed the RCMA No Color Powder. It blended out really nicely. It didn't crease in any way, or it hasn't so far. I will keep you guys posted and let you know by end of day if it has, but I liked the way that it applied to the skin. It blended it out easily. It dusted off the skin. It didn't leave any sort of white patches on my skin at all. Hopefully by the end of the day, it'll continue to live up to the hype around it. But yeah, so far really liked it. And then my least favorite products so far, although I may have a different opinion by the end of the day, one is the Makeup Revolution Ultra Strobe Balm. Just from a first impression standpoint, I know I didn't actually put this on my face, but it was really gold and very sparkly, and I don't know, I just can't see myself reaching for this. And in terms of first application, though I will continue to experiment with this, the Wonder Brown just wasn't my favorite because I'm still sort of figuring out my brows and how I like to fill them in. It feels like it's going to be a product that will require a lot of time into making sure that my brows look really good and that I'm doing them properly because it's more permanent, if you will. But if it does stay put and allows me to do my brows less the next day, like fill them in less, then I may change my opinion on this. And then lastly, while I did find the application was nice, it looks good on my skin, I just wasn't really impressed with the color selection of the LA Girl Pro Coverage foundation. The fact that Fair is so dark and it oxidizes a lot, at least on my skin, was a little bit disappointing. I was expecting so much from this product because so many people talk about how amazing it is. In terms of the consistency, it's good. I don't mind the actual how it looks on the skin. It's nice that they have a white version so you can lighten it up if you choose to, but it's sort of annoying that you would have to buy two in order to do that, you know? I don't think this is a bad product, and I think if it matches your skin tone, it's quite pretty. It's not like out there like a most amazing foundation ever, though again, may change my mind by end of day if it's gonna like stay put and look fabulous, but as of right now, it's good. It's a good foundation if you can find it at your store and it matches your skin. It's a nice one and it blends out and it layers well. but yeah, in terms of the color selection, I was a little disappointed with that. So now I'm gonna continue on with my day, and I will update you guys at the end of the day and let you guys know what this ends up looking like and if there are any changes in some of my favorites. So it is the end of the day, and you can see the makeup is like still looking really good. I'm pretty impressed. The lipstick is obviously coming off. It is the end of the day. It's gone through a couple of different meals, and my lips are a little bit dry, but I haven't put any lip balm or anything on them, so they're like dying right now. I do notice a little bit of oiliness down the T-zone area, so for those of you that experience any sort of oiliness, just a heads up. I also didn't set with the RCMA powder too much along the T-zone. I kind of like lightly dusted it all over, but mostly focused on the under eye area, and the under eye area is like perfect, has not moved. So I think if I used a little bit more powder, that would make a difference, because I did notice like when I was like touching my face throughout the day, I was like, oh, this doesn't feel set at all. So the fact that the foundation looks as good as it does at this point of the day is pretty impressive, considering I did not use that much powder. So props to LA girl on that. But yeah, highlight is still in place. Eyeshadow still looks phenomenal. My eyelashes are still good, and brows are in place. Like, yeah, overall it's been pretty successful. Although now I'm curious, I'm gonna go and take off all my makeup and just see if the brows stay in place. BRB, everyone. Okay, so clearly makeup is off. I've taken out my contacts and have to wear my glasses, otherwise I can't see anything. I removed all of my makeup with makeup remover, and I kind of avoided, for the most part, my eyebrow area. I didn't go out of my way to like really be careful, but like I didn't like rub it with a bunch of eye makeup remover either. And then I washed my face all over with a gel cleanser and then wiped it dry and all that stuff, put on cream and everything. And like for the most part, like they're pretty much still intact. There's like little like patches over in the corners where it's rubbed off and things like that. But like I've been like touching them and going like this to them and stuff, and like nothing seems to be coming off, which is crazy to me. So like that's pretty impressive. I would say if you do a lot of really hardcore workouts or hot yoga, if you want something that's going to stay in your brows all day and you have really oily skin and your brows just keep like, you know, running down your face, then I think maybe like looking into this a little bit more might be worth your while. I think for me, for an everyday basis where I'm just like hanging out in the house with the kids or something, like I don't really see the benefit, but I can see it being really useful for people with specific needs for that kind of a full stick to your brow kind of a product. So yeah, now my makeup is off, and now I'm going to bed. And that's everything for this video. Give it a thumbs up if you want to see more of these hyped Instagram products tested type videos. And if you have any requests for products to put into my next round, put them in the comment section below. I'd love to hear from you guys, or if you see a product in the comment section, give it a thumbs up if you want to see that one done. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to check out my last one that I did. I will put it in the card section for you guys or in the info bar below in case you're interested in watching that one. And that's everything. I hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful week so far, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Love you, girls. Mwah.